Here's a great idea for your next outing. A cruise of the L.A. Harbor on a Spirit Cruises yacht. Spirit Cruises offers everything you need to relax and enjoy your time on the water. For more information, call 310-548-8080 or visit spiritmarine.com.
Pop, 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 go to pistol. Bang, 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 go to gun. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright.
Men are hard, women are soft. And that's not just in bed. Without women, men become cold, brittle, cruel, start looking for another guy to duel. Hard needs soft, and soft don't mean weak. In this dictionary, it's just another word for unique. Roles can be reversed, but not our nature. Yin and yang, tears and toys, flowers and monster trucks. What's going on? There's 15% more blood flow in a woman's brain. Women's brains have more gray matter, where information processing is done. The male brain is white matter dominant, meaning more physical action. The male brain possesses fewer neural pathways to and from the brain's emotion centers. In 1 year, a woman can give birth once. In 1 year, a man can produce enough sperm to impregnate every single woman on earth. If we gave this science lesson as a test, everyone would fail it. Even if it were an open book test, everyone would fail it. Because men and women have different answers. Yin and yang, tears and toys, flowers and monster trucks. Is it any wonder the divorce rate is through the roof? Then in most relationships, someone becomes aloof. But if we see each other as who we actually are, maybe our behavior won't seem so bizarre, and we can hit a higher percentage of our shots. Because we ought to be together. We've got to be together. Hard needs soft, and soft don't mean weak. In this dictionary, it's just another word for unique. Welcome to Episode 2 of Love and War, the podcast in which the irresistible force overcomes the immovable object. I'm your host, Lee Ballinger. I'm an author, poet, and producer based in Los Angeles. If you want to know more, check out my bio on Facebook, LeeBallinger. You can hit me up at rockrap@AOL.com. That's ROCKRAP, or on Facebook. The Olympics are now over. The 2016 Games were an orgy of competition, patriotism, and advertising. Yet inside all of that beat the heart of something essential, something beautiful. These Olympics reminded me of the 1985 film Vision Quest. In that tale of high school wrestling and human nature, there's a scene where a fry cook says to a busboy, "I'm not much of a soccer fan, but the other day I happened to turn on the Mexican channel and saw this guy Pele score a goal upside down. Then he took off his jersey and ran around the field while the crowd went wild. You can say it's just a soccer game, but man, he lifted the entire human race up just a little bit." No one would argue that children don't ever need to go to school because they were born with a brain which can develop on its own. But when it comes to the body that contains that brain, we act as if it can somehow just take care of itself. We allow sports programs to be eliminated from our schools at all levels. We force parents and athletes to pay for the athletic programs which remain, even though many cannot afford it. We also allow millions of children to go hungry and millions more to become obese. We put up with the elimination of sports programs because we believe that America, the richest country on earth, can't afford everything. Sports is treated as a luxury we can do without. Music and art programs get the axe with similar justification. Meanwhile, our entire educational system is in rapid decline. Let's not argue over what to cut. Let's keep it all. Sports is not a luxury. We need to see athletes at the peak of their powers because it brings beauty and wonder into our lives, and inspiration. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school varsity team, yet went on to become the greatest basketball player of all time. Roberto Clemente, perhaps the most graceful baseball player ever, lost his life in a plane crash while attempting to deliver relief supplies to earthquake victims in Nicaragua. Constantina Dita won the women's marathon at the 2008 Olympics at age 38, a feat never before accomplished by a woman or man that old. The message most of us receive today is, you can't. Sports says, you can. That message filters down to us from the icons we see on television until ultimately it reaches boys and girls just learning how to use their gifts in an organized way. Sports helps us to overcome the divisions created by history. Athletes of every color and creed have helped to bring down barriers, going back well before Jackie Robinson integrated baseball in 1948. New generations continue to chip away at the legacy of discrimination as they compete as teams and individuals. They compete against each other, but their competition is also for something. The stirring of America's still imperfect melting pot, and the entry of millions of girls and women into organized sports over the past 40 years has kept the push toward equality in front of us, challenging old assumptions and lingering prejudices. Sports pushes us to be more open to those around us. When you go out for a team in high school, you play with whoever signs up, not just with the circle of friends you know from games in the backyard. They may be strangers, they may be kids you don't like, but you've got to put that aside and find a way to come together. Ironically, the erosion of access to sports comes at a time when participation should be exploding. A Los Angeles Times front page story described how computers and robots will ultimately replace all retail employees, 10% of the U.S. workforce. A similar article could be written about assembly line workers, middle management, or even software engineers. We are moving rapidly toward a world without jobs, an era of almost unlimited free time. Will those hours be spent in physical or mental prisons, or in the joyful development of our bodies, our minds, our spirits? Work as we've known it is becoming obsolete. We can't change that fact, so let's embrace it. Our vision should be a school on every block and a gym on every corner. Let's learn. Let's play. Let's get healthy. As legendary Chicago Cubs shortstop Ernie Banks put it at his induction into baseball's Hall of Fame, we've got the setting. Sunshine, fresh air. We've got the team behind us, so let's play too. I have a new book out called Love and War, My First 30 Years of Writing. You can download a copy, absolutely free, at loveandwarbook.com. That's loveandwarbook.com. Let me know what you think of it. When I worked at a steel mill in Warren, Ohio, the Mahoning Valley had the highest number of restaurants per capita in the world. They were built to serve the massive, highly paid blue-collar workforce, tens of thousands of men and women. In factory lunchrooms across the valley, arguments about the best place to eat raged without end. We needed restaurants, partly because everyone in the family was working, and there was often no one at home with enough time to cook. But mainly it was because we had money to burn, and we burned it like there was no tomorrow. As it turns out, there wasn't. Now, according to an article in the Columbus Dispatch, Warren, Ohio is the third hungriest city in the entire country. Hungry bellies don't think, but they send the brain a signal that it's time to start thinking. Whose thoughts will fill those brains? Will there be thoughts about how to create a system that fills bellies? Let's finish up with the quote of the week, This one from John Coltrane, who said, "If one of my friends is ill, I like to play a certain song and he'll be cured. When he'd be broke, I'd bring out a different song, and immediately he'd have all the money he needed. But what these pieces are, and what is the road to attain the knowledge of them, that I don't know. The true powers of music are still unknown." That's it for now. If you see me on the street, smile back.
Pop, pop,